Okay, so Hare Krishna to everybody. Thank you so much for accepting this request coming from our ISKCON Chicago that we are going to do this special course on the Vaishnava etiquettes. And as we all know that, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, who is part of Mumbai GEV, and I just wanted to introduce, and I would also thank Gauranga Darshan Prabhu for accepting our request from ISKCON Chicago Temple Council, and joining here for giving this wonderful course for 8 sessions. So Gauranga Darshan Prabhu is a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He is a spiritual teacher, an author, a professional before, and many more things. And as an author, he has written over 27 books, including the Subodhini series of study guides, children's books such as Bhagavatam Tales, and other self-enrichment books. He is the Dean of the Bhaktivedanta Vidyapith at ISKCON Govardhan Eco Village, which in short called as GEV, outside Mumbai. He regularly conducts online and residential spiritual courses for both children and adults, and has delivered over 6,500 plus hours of spiritual discourses in different forums, like including temples, schools, colleges, and corporate events. He is a member of the ISKCON Board of Examination and the GEV Administrative Council, and oversees the temple worship and Vrindavan forest at GEV. And of course, there are many, many more to talk about this wonderful personality. And I am hoping that ISKCON Chicago congregation devotees will take all the benefit of the association of His Grace Gauranga Darshan Prabhu. And I will stop here and hand over to Gauranga Darshan Prabhu here. Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, please accept our humble obeisances from all the congregation of ISKCON Chicago. Thank you so much for making this event. Hare Krishna, over to you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Paramatma Prabhu, for your kind invitation and organizing this course on an important theme. We have about 1.5 hours, right?
Yes.
So I'll speak for an hour or so, then we'll have Q&A for half an hour, depending on how many questions you have. Okay, so I'll start now. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances to all the devotees who came for this special series of classes on Vaishnava character and etiquette. So, if possible, if you keep your videos on, we can have a more interactive session, and it can be more personal. But if you are unable to keep on your videos for some reason, I'm okay with that. I'm used to it. And today we will discuss on a very important topic. And today, because it's the first day of the whole course, I'll discuss on the importance of cultivating the right kind of Vaishnava mood, attitude, character, etiquettes in devotional circles, in spiritual circles. And then we will discuss one quality. So in this series of classes, we will be discussing on one particular Vaishnava quality that Krishna emphasizes in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and many other Bhagavatam speakers emphasize in Srimad Bhagavatam, and also Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has personally emphasized in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So, as practitioners of Bhakti Yoga, as devotees, certainly we need to understand philosophy, at least the essence of it, at least the basics and foundational philosophy we should be equipped with, no doubt about that. So we read Bhagavad Gita, we read Srimad Bhagavatam and all the other Vaishnava scriptures, and we hear when devotees are explaining the scriptures, we hear them, we learn them, so we understand philosophy, at least the basics, like we are not bodies, we are souls, right? And the law of karma, and the three modes, and the whole science of God, and the divinity of Krishna, how he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, etc., etc. So many topics are there within Gita and Bhagavatam for us to become philosophically equipped. And we should understand our core philosophy as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. There is no difference between the Lord and his energies. At the same time, there is some difference also, Bheda and Abheda. So the philosophy of simultaneous oneness and non-difference between the Lord and all of us, his energies, and this universe, his energy, is a very inconceivable thing to understand. That's why the word Achintya is added. Achintya Bheda Abheda Tattva. So we should have a good understanding of that. Although it is Achintya, still we should try to understand. So like that, developing philosophical understanding is great, no doubt. However, along with developing philosophical understanding, along with being sincere in our sadhana, second point is we should be very sincere in our sadhana, in our chanting the holy names of Krishna, in our shastric study, in doing various services that we are doing as a part of pleasing Guru, Krishna and Vaishnavas. So we have our sadhana, we have our swadhyaya, philosophical understanding, we have our seva, and we are being in the association of devotees. We are associating with like-minded sadhakas. Okay, sadhana is best performed with other sadhakas, right? So sangha is important. So I spoke about 4 things now, if you have noticed. I spoke about swadhyaya, philosophical understanding developed by studying scriptures. I also slightly talked about sadhana, our chanting, our hearing, our study and all that. And I also spoke about seva very slightly. So we should take up some important responsibilities in our spiritual life. We should not just be focusing on our own sadhana and swadhyaya. We should also do seva to spiritual master. That's why Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Tadviddi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So by pariprashna, you understand the philosophy, right, from the Guru. But pariprashna should be followed by seva, render some service. Then you will understand more. You will realize what we understood. Okay, that is pariprashnena sevaya. Then fourth thing I mentioned is sangha. So we should do all this in the association of devotees. So 4 S's. Okay. Sadhana, Swadhyaya, Seva, Sangha. But the 5th S is the theme of this course. That is Sadachar. Sadachar means, Achar means behavior, etiquette. Okay. Sadachar means good behavior, good etiquette. Okay. Good dealings with others. So as far as Vaishnava etiquette is concerned, Vaishnava Sadachar is concerned, I would say it has 2 aspects to it. There are multiple aspects, but prominently, let's talk about 2 aspects of this Vaishnava Sadachar. What is that? One is the behavioral patterns, the expressions, the dealings. When we meet another devotee, we say, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Mataji, or Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, Dandavat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. See, when we are greeting other devotees, this kind of respectful address just comes out. So that's the external aspect. When we meet other devotees, we offer dandavats to them. When sannyasi comes, we offer prostrated dandavats, right? So the way we greet each other, the way we deal with each other, when we address other devotees, we call them respectfully, not in a disrespectful manner. So, and when we enter temple, we offer obeisances in the temple. We don't just barge in, but we take permission from the Lord, okay, at the entrance, and then we offer dandavats. We offer obeisances to Prabhupada, then offer obeisances to the deities, right? And we don't allow our feet to touch any other devotee, okay? If we happen to touch another devotee with our feet, we immediately say sorry and then touch the devotee's body and then just put it on our head, the hand on our head. Just, I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean to disrespect you. It just happened like that. So these are some things. Like bead bag is there. You don't keep bead bag on the floor. You don't keep Srimad Bhagavatam book on the floor where everyone is walking. So these are how to deal with devotional articles. When someone offers a Mahaprasad garland, we accept it, we honor it. Okay. So how to deal with the Lord's paraphernalia. So there are some, how to dress ourselves as Vaishnavas. Right? There is dhoti, kurta, there is sari, and there are like different devotees present themselves in devotional attires, devotional clothes, so that the ambience of temple is spiritually surcharged. Okay, so like that, how to dress, how to talk, how to walk, how to deal with people, how to handle devotional articles, how to behave properly in front of the deities of Krishna. So there are several rules and regulations, do's and don'ts, prescriptions and prohibitions, recommendations and restrictions. All these are there as Vaishnavas. And we are quite familiar with all of them also, at least many of them. Okay, and we try to follow them. Like as soon as you enter temple, by default, everyone offers obeisances. Over a period of time, no one has to be very conscious. Initial days, they just enter the temple, just directly go to the deities. Then someone will say, hey, you're not supposed to directly go to the deities. You should offer obeisances to the Acharya there. Offer obeisances to Prabhupada. Then you go to the deities. Okay. Oh, is it like that? There is an order. Fine. Let's offer obeisances to Guru first, Prabhupada first, and then offer obeisances to the Lord. So initially, we need to be taught like this. Tulsi Maharani, we need to offer obeisances. But over a period of time, they become a part of our system. Okay. As soon as you enter temple, you offer dandavats. Okay. That's part of our system. It has become an innate behavioral pattern. And greeting devotees. Okay, we address them as Prabhu, Mataji, like that. So that also becomes a part of the system. So as far as external dealings are concerned, we kind of get accustomed to it over a period of time, at least many of them. Okay. As soon as you enter Dham, you offer obeisances. Yes. Many people do that. So when you see someone say Hare Krishna, say Hari Bol, these are fine. So now the other part, I said Vaishnava Sadachar has two aspects. One is the behavioral aspect, okay, that we have discussed in the last 5 minutes slightly. The other is the mood, the attitude, the consciousness aspect, right? We may respectfully address another Vaishnava or Vaishnavi, but how much respect we carry for them within the heart. Okay. We offer obeisances to the deities or Prabhupada in the temple. Yes, physically the body is bending, but internally how much humility we have. Okay. We say thank you to devotees when we receive some favor, but how much gratitude we have in our heart. Okay. And when another devotee is doing something which we are not very comfortable with, we may be polite to them. We may not immediately express. But how much internal tolerance we have, how much forgiveness we have. So this is the other aspect of Sadachar. What is seen as our behavioral pattern is basically a product of our consciousness, our attitude, our inner mood, our character. And this course is specifically meant to address that part of Vaishnava Sadachar. Right? I'm not going to speak on the external expression of Vaishnava mood, but I'll speak more on the internal dynamics of Vaishnava mood, right? So I'll not speak on how to wear dhoti, how to wear kurta, how to wear devotional clothes when you enter temple, what to do when some charanamrita is given to you, or how to offer obeisances in the temple. All that I hope many are familiar with. Even if you're not familiar, fine. We have devotees who can tell us. And that kind of training goes on the go. Okay. And I'm sure after spending several years, one becomes familiar with all this, how to address people and all. But in this course, I'll focus more on the mood, the character, the qualities that Vaishnavas are supposed to cultivate. The qualities like gratitude, then service attitude. So we are doing services at one level, but having service attitude is on the other level. So I'll focus more on the service attitude part. And with that in the mind, let us do our services. That's the point. I quoted one shloka, if you remember, just 5 minutes back. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So, this is a shloka where Krishna says that we get knowledge from Guru by 3 things. Okay, what are the 3 things? Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. I talked about pariprashna. Relevant enquiries you place in front of the Guru and then he will answer. That is pariprashna. After that is seva. You physically render some services to Guru, right? Actually, action. Then first, before that comes pranipat. What is pranipat? Submissiveness. Okay, submissiveness. I spoke about 5 S, if you remember, right in the beginning. What are they? Sadhana, Swadhyaya, Seva, Sangha, Sadachar. 5 S. In this 5 S, that pariprashna is mainly as a part of our sadhana and Swadhyaya. Seva, definitely Seva. Okay. And the first part, pranipata. Pranipat means submissiveness, obedience, respectful attitude. That is connected to Sadachar. Okay. So we should respectfully ask questions. You ask a question, okay, pariprashna, ask relevant question, get relevant answer, done. Not like that. Pranipatena pariprashna means ask submissively, not in a challenging tone. but in a respectful tone. That aspect of respect is sadachar, right? So respectfully speaking is the external part of it. Having feelings of respect is internal part of it. So I'm speaking more on the mood of mood that Vaishnavas are supposed to maintain, not just expression. Expression is a product of the emotion. So there are three things: emotion, expression, action. Okay? Emotion is internal level, like at the level of heart, and it's on the level of mind, internal emotion. And that emotions are expressed through words. So words, by expressions, what I mean is verbal expressions. It can be facial expressions also. Somebody like this, which is disgusted. Within he's disgusted, externally says like this. That's an expression, right? So that expression is a product of emotion within. Right? Internally you got disgusted, externally you're putting such a look. Internally you're feeling so much of anguish, disappointment or discouragement or anger. Externally it comes as an expression in the form of slapping someone or beating someone or kicking someone, or at least angry eyes like this. And so the expressions of the body, of the senses, of the eyes, of the tongue, so that is product of internal emotions, isn't it? The emotion, then expression, then finally action. Okay. So expression generally, let's keep expression as verbal. Okay, to keep our discussion. The word expression is very vast, right? It covers a lot, but let's restrict our expression part to only verbal expression. Emotion, internal. Expression, verbal. After that, action. Action is physical. So like, for example, internally, you have the mode of gratitude. That's the emotion. Externally, verbally, you say thank you. That's expression. Then what is action there? Out of gratitude, you don't just say thank you, you also do some service to that person. Internally, you're feeling gratitude. Verbally, you're saying, my dear Prabhu, I'm very grateful to you. Thank you. I thank you. Can I do some service for you? Out of my gratitude, I would like to offer some service to you. Oh, you're doing this service, I will assist you. Next 1 hour, I have time. That is action. So three things: action, expression, emotion. In this course, we'll focus more on the emotion. Okay, because we are quite familiar with action, expected action, and also expression. Okay, we know how to say thank you. But what are the dynamics of the internal emotion behind these expressions and actions? That is gratitude. What are the dynamics of gratitude? What's there inside a grateful heart? Let's analyze it in this course. Not just gratitude, other things, humility. Okay, so if you have humility, then the person's behavior is different. If there is arrogance in the heart, the behavior is different. So the external behavior is a product of internal emotion, internal attitude. So attitude is inside and action is outside. So we need training not only in devotional actions, we also need training in devotional emotions, devotional attitude. So that's the premises of this course, focusing on the mood of a Vaishnava. Okay, nurturing the mood of a Vaishnava. I hope you're able to follow. Till now it is clear. Okay, let me tell you one more thing. How that emotions within, the attitude within, the Vaishnava character that we have forms the basis or foundation even for our sadhana, for our seva, for our sangha. There are 4 S's, right? It's not that they are mutually independent S's. All of them are dependent on each other. Sadhana, seva, sadachar, sangha, and swadhyaya. All 5 are mutually dependent on each other. In fact, there is an overlap. Seva is a part of your sadhana also. Okay. Although we identified 5 titles, sadhana, seva, sadachar, sangha, swadhyaya, but there is an overlap. Swadhyaya is a part of your sadhana also. Okay. Sadhana is a part of your seva also. Sadachar is a part of your sangha also. And sangha is a part of sadhana also. In sadhana bhakti, one limb is sadhu sangha. So all of them can be subtitles and main titles, both. There's an overlap. But for our practical purposes, let we identified 5 separate things. Just like Panchatattva Ekavastu. Panchatattva mantra, you know, right? Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All 5 are identified as 5 tattvas, but they're one Panchatattva Ekavastu. Okay, but for all practical purposes, for the experience of rasa, we separate them into 5. Similarly, this 5S that we have discussed today is they are not mutually independent, they are totally interrelated, intermingled with each other. So we can't exactly separate one from the other. At the same time, we will separate slightly for our discussion purpose. Okay. So now, let us see the connection. In Sikshashtakam, 3rd sloka, what did he say? What did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say? Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishtuna amanina manadena kirtaniyah sada harihi. First he said, Trinadapi sunichena. A Vaishnava is more tolerant, more humble than a blade of grass. Next is tarorapi sahishtuna. A Vaishnava is more tolerant than a tree. Supposed to be more tolerant than a tree for sadhakas. Then 3rd is amanina. 4th is manadena. Means don't expect respect from others and be prepared to offer all respect to others. Don't hanker for honor from others, but be ready to honor others. Okay? 4 qualities: tolerance, humility, respect, and not expecting respect. 4 qualities. If we have these 4 qualities of sadachar, what will happen? Kirtaneya sada harihi. This sadachar will make us sada chant Hari's names. Harir namaiva kevalam. If we count chanting as a part of our sadhana, and if we count these 4 qualities, humility, tolerance, respect, etc., as part of our sadachar, what is happening here? Sadachar is supporting our sadhana. Clear? So, one who is tolerant, one who is humble, one who is respectful, such a person only can chant the holy names of Krishna always. Isn't it? So, to be able to chant well, you should have a humble mood. You should have tolerance. You should be respectful. Let us see the dynamics of humility. Let us see what it means to be respectful to everyone. Let us discuss more and more on culture of respect. Let us discuss more on humility. Let us discuss more on tolerance. So we'll spend several sessions understanding all these qualities. How these qualities are defined, how these qualities are demonstrated by different devotees, so that we learn from their examples. So I have not yet entered the course. I'm just giving some introduction only. So I hope this is clear, the premises of the course and the importance of this course, importance of what we are going to discuss. So any questions or comments at this moment before we proceed? Yes, Prabhu, Rama Raghav Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much for your nice introduction. I have 2 questions, Prabhu, and I believe that this is the right time to ask them.
Yeah, you can ask. If it is not right time, I'll let you know.
Thank you. Prabhu, first question is, you touched upon not asking challenging questions. So my question is, can you elaborate on why is it important to be humble while asking a question and not have a challenging mood?
Okay, fine. Definitely in this course, we are going to elaborate on that.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
As you said, whether it is the right time, it's a very specific question.
Yes.
This topic will find its place very well when we are discussing about humility.
Okay.
So, we will discuss on gratitude, on humility, on patience and tolerance and compassion, all this satisfaction, all these qualities we'll discuss. Every single quality will have a separate session. 1 hour we will discuss on that only. So in the topic of humility, I'll address this definitely.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Today we'll discuss about gratitude. Yeah.
Okay. Can I ask the second question now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, and I think this is not just me, but a common experience among all the devotees who are, doing one or the other volunteering service in the temple. And so, they usually do a lot of service, all of us do. And, so sometimes one can have a wrong notion that I am doing my service, I am, paying proper respects to my spiritual master, I am all for the deities in the temple. So why is it important to at all have Vaishnava etiquette? When I am doing my service right, when I am respecting my Guru Maharaj well, when I am treating, I'm paying obeisances to the deities, I am doing my altar services, what is the need? What is the importance of Vaishnava etiquette? Why is it important? Can I not live without it? So if you can elaborate more on that.
Whatever you have mentioned till now,
Yeah.
Respecting Guru, worshipping deities, offering obeisances and all that, doing services, that's a part of etiquette. I mean, how can we deal with Guru without etiquette? How can we offer obeisances to the deities without etiquette? As I said, we cannot separate this. You can't separate, okay, etiquette out, then everything else is fine. Sadhana is there. Then, okay, fine. Let us see. Let's not consider the overlap part of it. Let's separate them. Etiquette is separate, just for argument's sake. Etiquette is separate, and your sadhana, services, other things are separate. Okay. Without this, it will not survive. You may do now. Okay. But without this will not continue for a longer time.
Yeah.
Without properly dealing with other Vaishnavas, by neglecting the mood and the etiquette that we are supposed to maintain while dealing with other Vaishnavas, definitely we will end up committing Vaishnava Aparadh. And Vaishnava Aparadh will take away our taste in bhakti. Everything will be ruined. Okay, Vaishnava etiquette is the ornament of a Vaishnava. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says it's a bhushan. You may not find devotees wearing so many armlets and bracelets and necklaces and turbans or crowns and moving around. The real crown, real ornament of a devotee is Vaishnava etiquette. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu emphasized, how can we worship Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disregarding his teaching of cultivating etiquette? Okay, so Vaishnava Achar is the ornament of a Vaishnava. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. Bhagavatam also said this. Titikshavaha karunikaha suhurdam sarvadehinam ajata satravaha shantaha sadhavaha sadhu bhushanaha. This Achar, Vaishnava etiquette, like Titikshavaha, tolerance, Karunika, compassion, Suhrudaha, being friendly, Sarvadehinam, with everyone. Okay. Ajata Shatravaha, not envying anyone. Shantaha, being peaceful and equipoised. Is Sadhavaha Sadhu Bhushanaha. It is a Sadhu Bhushana. It is the ornament of a Vaishnava, ornament of a devotee. We cannot claim to be devotees. We cannot identify ourselves as devotees without the etiquette of devotees, without the mood of a devotee, without the culture of a devotee. That is Sadhu Bhushana. Bhagavatam is saying this, Chaitanya Tirthamrita is saying, and Krishna in the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he gives several qualities that endear a devotee to him. In the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in 5 shlokas, Krishna gives several elements of knowledge, of which all these Vaishnava etiquettes are there. Vaishnava qualities are there, humility, compassion, gratitude and all.
Yeah.
In the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, again, Krishna speaks about 26 qualities of Vaishnavas. If Vaishnava etiquette and Vaishnava culture is not important, why Krishna has to emphasize this in 3 chapters of Bhagavad Gita? In 3 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, he has given big lists. But in other chapters of Bhagavad Gita, he spoke a lot. 2nd chapter, Sthita Prajna's qualities. Okay, 4th chapter, mature yogis qualities. So like that, so many places Krishna is speaking. Gita is filled with Vaishnava etiquette and sadachar and the mood of a devotee. Bhagavatam is filled with it. Chaitanya Charitamrita is filled with it. And Mahaprabhu's personal demeanor, personal character is filled with it. And all the personalities in Chaitanya Charitamrita, whether it is Nityananda Prabhu or Advaita Acharya or Sarvabhauma Goswami or all the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, all of them are demonstrating Vaishnava etiquette. They're writing books on Vaishnava etiquette. So, is it not important? Right? So, sadhana or spiritual life cannot survive without the foundation of having a right etiquette. Right? All these are equal, all these are connected to each other. Sadhana, Swadhyaya, Seva, Sadachar, Sangha. But thank you for asking such an important question. Okay. Does it make sense, Prabhu? What we discussed?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Yeah, it is very helpful. Thank you.
Hari. So with this little background, we will start our discussion on first topic of this course. I have chosen gratitude. Okay. I'm grateful to all of you for allowing me to speak on gratitude today. So we will discuss about gratitude today, first quality. And we have only 20 minutes now. I'll discuss a little bit on gratitude. Next week, we will continue with gratitude. Then coming weeks, we'll get into qualities of humility, compassion, satisfaction, all this. Okay. So now let me open a file. Yeah, Vaishnava character. Okay, fine. One more thing. This Prabhu also asked, Ramaraghav Prabhu asked, and in introduction also for first half an hour we were discussing this. So here is an example that comes in the 7th canto beginning. A tree or a plant will grow when there is a potent seed. So you plant a seed, and if the seed has potency, then it will grow into a plant, isn't it? What is potent seed? Seed should have the ability to produce a sapling. You fry some palis, groundnut, peanuts. You fry peanuts and then plant. Will they give any plants? No, right? So you need to have the potent seed. Fine. So that is one. And once the potent seed is planted, it will grow into a sapling. But we should also shower it with water. Without the supply of water and sunshine, etc., the plant will not grow. So for the plant to grow, you need potent seed and you need water and you also need land. What kind of land? Fertile land. If the land is not fertile, if the soil is not fertile, even if your seed is potent and even if the water supply is also proper, the plant will not grow, isn't it? So in Vaishnava circles, that seed is Bhakti Lata Bija, technically speaking. In the language of Chaitanya Charitamrita, we get the seed of bhakti from a potent guru. So a devotee is initiated into the process of devotional service from a Vaishnava guru. Means Vaishnava guru is giving bhakti lata bija. Bhakti is devotion, devotional service. Lata means the creeper. Bija means seed. The seed of the creeper of devotional service is given to a devotee by the spiritual master, by Guru, potent Guru, Vaishnava Guru. Fine. So that is Bhakti Lata Bija. And how will that Bhakti Lata Bija grow as a plant? You need to supply water. What is that water supply? Shravanam and Kirtanam means our sadhana basically. Hearing and chanting and service, all this sadhana that we do is the watering process. So you have Bhakti Lata Bija, initiation or inspiration coming from a potent Vaishnava Guru, and you're also doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, etc. So therefore it is important. Now continuing answer to Prabhu's question and more explanation on it. Sadhu Lakshana means Sadachar or Vaishnava qualities are the fertility of soil. Even if you have potent seed from a spiritual master, Bhakti Lata Bija, and even if you are regular in your sadhana, swadhyaya, by 7 o'clock I'll complete my rounds. 16 rounds done every day. Every day, Brahma Muhurta, I just get up and then chant my holy names, and sadhana is pakka. And my reading, every day I read for 2 hours of Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita. So my sadhana is also great. My reading is also great. Shravanam Kirtanam is happening very nicely. But if you don't have sadhana, if you don't have sadachar, if you don't have sadhu lakshana, Vaishnava qualities of humility, gratitude, etc., then seed will not grow. Okay? Because the land is not fertile. When the land is fertile, then potent seed will grow into a plant. Your seed is potent, and your watering process is perfect, but the land is not fertile. So all these qualities, Vaishnava qualities, sadhu lakshana, etiquettes, they are considered the fertility of soil. So the seed of bhakti will grow only when the heart is fertile with Vaishnava qualities. If there is no humility here, if there is no gratitude here, if there is no satisfaction here, if there is no patience and tolerance and compassion here, so bhakti lata bija, the seed of bhakti, will feel very uncomfortable. The growth of this bhakti lata bija is strangled. Even if you are supplying so much of Shravanam Kirtanam, reading hundreds of books, all books, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Rasamrita, so many books, you keep reading and you can hear 100 classes everywhere, every single day, every single moment. Only earphone is there inside the it's always here. I'm hearing Shravanam, YouTube on, so and so Maharaj, so and so Prabhu, so and so Mataji. I'm continuously hearing. Hearing is happening, chanting, okay, always there. Feedback is always there in the hand. Whenever there is time, you just chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So chanting is happening, hearing is happening. But if sadachar is not there, if you're not dealing with other devotees with respect and grace, then blessings will be lost also, right? So we may not grow in bhakti. Fine. So that's the reason why this sadachar is very important. So humility, forgiveness, satisfaction. You may be pakka in your sadhana, in your chanting and in hearing and study. You have perfect understanding of the philosophy. But if we cannot forgive a devotee who has done a small mistake, then how much have we assimilated the Shastra? And if we are not grateful to another devotee who helped us and supported us and favored us in various ways in our bhakti, what is the use of our sadhana? Right? So if we don't have respect for others, for their contributions, for what they are, what's the point of memorizing 1,000 shlokas in Bhagavatam? Okay. So our advancement in bhakti is not decided by the magnitude of our services, but the attitude behind the service. Krishna doesn't see the magnitude of our activity, he sees the attitude behind that activity. He doesn't see whether you are offering expensive jewels to him, or great golden necklaces to him, or making a big temple for him. He will see how much devotion you have. With the devotion, you offer patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, little fruit, little flower, some water, which is available anywhere. Okay, some leaf, one tulsi leaf. But if there is bhakti, devotion, Krishna will accept it. Right? If there is no devotion, you offer jewels and you offer gold. Definitely, by such an offering, you will get some benefit. But Krishna's heart is pleased when it is offered with devotion, not with arrogance. Okay. Yes, somehow or the other offer something to Krishna, that's great. We acknowledge that it's amazing. It's a great fortune. But attitude is more important than magnitude. Krishna is pleased with Vidura's banana peels and not Duryodhana's chappan bhog. See, my dining table is filled with 100 items, 108 items, more than chappan bhog. Double chappan bhog I am offering you. I don't want all that. Banana peel is very tasty for me. Okay, I am offering a very big palace, AC room. No problem. Vidura's heart is sufficient for me. Right? So Krishna is pleased with attitude more than magnitude. Okay. So Hanumanji is getting big boulders to construct this bridge of Lanka. And the squirrel is just pushing some little sand particles and some kind of what to say, stones and pebbles. That's all. Okay. And in comparison to what Hanuman can do in 1 minute, squirrel, even if it slogs for 10 days, also squirrel cannot do it. But squirrel has devotion. Hanumanji also has devotion. Okay. So Krishna is bhavagrahi. Lord Ramachandra is bhavagrahi. He's grandeur and majesty and greatness of our endeavors. Right? Yes, that is good. That's important. We can do big, big things for Krishna, no doubt about that. But along with doing big, big things for Krishna, if we also cultivate that humble mood, grateful mood, that will please Krishna. Okay. So that's the premises of this topic. That's the importance of this topic. So with this, let us begin our discussion on gratitude. Should we start the first topic? It's already 7:50, or we'll take more questions and then go deep on the importance of Vaishnava qualities and etiquettes and mood and start this topic next week? Or let me take one question and let's see. Chaitanya Kishore Prabhu, I don't want this whole course to be like a monologue. Let it be a dialogue. May you also participate. I also look forward to learn from you, not only speak in front of you out of whatever my arrogance. Yes, Chaitanya Kishore.
Thank you so much for your introduction, Prabhu. You're already demonstrating much humility by saying that you want to learn from us. But I just wanted to ask one question. You gave this example of attitude, that Krishna is bhavagrahi. And so many times we see some devotees misusing this as well. In the name of having this bhavagrahi attitude, we don't really follow the rituals. At our stage, we cannot be like Vidura, or we cannot be like somebody who can give banana peels to Krishna or not follow the rituals. So how do we balance that?
No, you have already answered the question. We should not, in the name of having the right mood, we can't compromise on the activity, right activity. In fact, bhakti means devotional service, right? As Prabhupada translated. Which will come first, devotion or service? What comes first, devotion or service?
Service. I think so.
But devotion is there, devotional service. Okay.
Yeah, devotion.
If we wait for devotion, we lose service.
Right.
Okay. So very good point that you have brought out. If you read Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu written by Rupa Goswami, and which Prabhupada has translated for us in the form of Nectar of Devotion, the definition of sadhana bhakti is given there. What is sadhana bhakti? Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya means sadhana bhakti is to engage our senses, eyes, ears, tongue, hands, legs, etc. We have to engage our senses in the service of the Lord so that eventually we develop bhava. Bhava is a product of sadhana. Bhava is the goal of sadhana. So in sadhana bhakti, we can't imitate having bhava. Okay, we can't assume that I already have bhava. When we say bhava, bhavagrahi, it's like spoken in a very normal tone. Like bhava means emotion, bhava means attitude, bhava means the mood in which you do things, right? Okay. So that's the whole point. Bhava does not refer to bhava stage, which comes after sadhu sangha, what is it? Shraddha, sadhu sangha, anartha nivritti, then nishtha, ruchi bhava. Then finally, 8th stage is bhava. We are not talking about that bhava. That's a very elevated stage. But even in our sadhana, although the aim is, the goal is to get bhava by doing sadhana, while doing sadhana also we should have some little bhava. Little bit bhava, not so much. Okay, that right attitude. Fine. But we cannot, as you said, we should not just say that I have the right bhava. Okay, I have the bhava to fast, but I will not fast. I will take Chapan Bhog on Ekadashi day, on Janmashtami day, right? Okay, I have bhava. I have bhava that this is Krishna Prasadam. How can you discriminate grain prasadam, non-grain prasadam? I can eat grains also on Ekadashi day. Right? But I have bhava. I am valuing Krishna's prasadam. No, Mahaprabhu said, don't eat grains on Ekadashi. Okay? So let's stick to that. Okay? Let's stick to that protocol. Even if non-grain is very austere for us, sometimes that very sabudana that they give, it's like really austere for the tongue to accept it. But okay, fine. Mahaprabhu said it. Let's do it. Okay. It may seem ritualistic and mechanical. It's good. At sadhana stage, we have to, we can be mechanical. Okay. But while doing that mechanical or activity of senses, let's try to be in the right attitude as much as possible. You need to polish that. Otherwise, how can we come to bhava? Okay. Yes, we should not compromise on our services or certain protocols and principles and prescriptions and prohibitions and vidhis in the name of having bhava. We are doing vaidhi sadhana bhakti. So vidhi means rule.
Yeah.
Nishedha means regulation. So vidhi and nishedha we must observe as sadhana bhaktas. But while doing that vidhi and nishedha, while following the prescriptions and prohibitions, do's and don'ts, rules and regulations, let me not be proud. That's the bhava we are speaking. Those are very meticulous in following all the rules and regulations. They may have some pride at heart, right? So not being proud, but being humble in following the rules and regulations is the mode of this course, right? So we are discussing about the mood of a sadhaka only, not a bhava bhakta. We are discussing about the mood or attitude of a sadhaka bhakta only. Like we do this chanting as sadhana as a means of my purification. I am purifying myself. That's the mood. And I'm grateful to all the people who are guiding me in this devotional service. That gratitude is the mood there. So we, even in sadhaka stage, we need to cultivate these qualities, right? So otherwise, Mahaprabhu would not have said, Tranada Pisuni Chena Tarora Pisahishna Kirtane Sadahari. He would have said, only Kirtane Sadahari. Always chant. Okay, that's sufficient. But chant with this mood. That mood we are talking about. I hope it makes sense.
Yes. No, Prabhu, thank you so much. It was wonderful. One follow-up I want to just mention. So sometimes so I agree, this is when we talk about bhava, sometimes people go overboard, but sometimes in the name of following the rituals also, we give up practicality, we become so strict or conservative that we discourage people. So how do we balance that? That's where I'm stuck here. What is the Vaishnava etiquette?
Yes.
Saying that where we balance.
Your question and your follow-up question are touching on the extremes of sadhaka's mentality. Right. One extreme is in the name of having the bhava, you compromise on the rituals. Ritual means like the rules and regulations. That's a better word. Ritual oftentimes is seen in a negative connotation. Okay. But when rules and regulations, do's and don'ts, vidhis. Okay. Yeah. So compromising on the vidhis, thinking that I have bhava, that's one extreme. Then only focusing on the vidhis, not acknowledging bhava, not trying to cultivate. That's another extreme. So we should not be in both extremes. We should be somewhere in the middle. So let's speak about the other extreme. We saw about this extreme. Now, somebody may say that I have to get up early in the morning and attend Mangalarti. That's good. It's a part of sadhana. 4:30 a.m. I need to be there in the temple. Okay, that's great. But somehow your friend became sick. He needs some assistance. Okay, he has fever. He's unable to move. He needs some assistance. And he's unable to chant. He's unable to attend Mangalarti. He's unable to do his services. He's unable to take prasadam also properly. To assist that devotee, if you skip your morning chanting and then push it to, say, sometime later in the 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, is Krishna displeased with us? He compromised on his sadhana. He did not chant with devotees in the temple hall in the morning, but he's chanting at 10 o'clock. What kind of sin? Grave sin. And Krishna sees bhava here. He tried to help another devotee when he is sick, so that in few days he will recover and then he will be able to chant and give association to this devotee. Okay, so we can't be just so fanatic in following rules and regulations. We need to be flexible in following rules and regulations. So flexibility is expected. not a fanatic mood. So, but how much is too much? It depends on time, place, circumstances, right? And the candidates involved. Okay, what is to be a compromise? What is seen as a compromise for one devotee could be a necessity for another devotee. For example, I have certain like body, and it has certain nature where I cannot sit in AC. Okay, even in summer, I don't want AC. And some other person is there, even in winter, if there is no AC, they will get suffocated. Now, having AC is good or not? It depends on what is your body. Without AC or without fan, whatever, within 5 minutes, they will sweat. Their body will be drenched with sweat. Some devotees are like that. That's a necessity for them. Okay, it's not a luxury. And AC is an austerity for me, not luxury. Okay, depends on what kind of body you have. Similarly, whether somebody can compromise on certain rule or regulation or not, it depends on who is the person and what is the situation, under what circumstances he is doing. Okay, so if a newly joined, say, trainee in a temple, if he's missing his morning program, and the temple in charge will catch him. If a sannyasi does it, if a sannyasi doesn't come, for example, because of health reason or late night, whatever it may be, temple authority should not catch. Getting right? So we need to understand who is the person. So these are various things. I hope
Yes, Prabhu, very, very clear. I think that's where, in that spectrum, we get the chance to exercise this Vaishnava etiquettes that you're going to teach us in this course. So I think this is very valuable. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your beautiful questions. Any other question or comment? Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you very, very much, Prabhu, for reiterating the points we had always been listening, but not probably focusing properly. So I have 2 questions, Prabhu, but I have a little difficulty in articulating them. I hope I will make sense. So I feel many times that these qualities that we talk about usually, somehow this is my understanding that I don't know if they can be cultivated, because I feel that they are probably natural to some hearts. The quality of gratitude. Some people are just grateful. I mean, they can very easily acknowledge and they just keep acknowledging, what they are getting, what blessings they have and all those kind of things. So I find it a little bit challenging that how can these be cultivated? And then my brain itself answers the question that, okay, Krishna will put you into some situation where probably you will realize something. And then you will understand that. And it has happened a few times also. But then again, it goes to catch 22 that, okay, then that means that, okay, when will I get realization, when my sadhana will be proper, and everything goes back to this point. So I'm not sure whether my understanding is right or wrong, and whether these qualities can be cultivated by our own efforts, or we need to be put in those situations where Krishna can give us realization.
Both. We need to put a conscious effort to cultivate qualities, and we should also be conscious enough to recognize the opportunities to cultivate those qualities when Krishna keeps us in certain situations. Okay, when we just wait that Krishna will train me in this quality. One day he will train me. We are not putting any effort, and we are trying to be random. Okay. And if we see that I will master this quality, it's there in me only. Yes, I will do it. We are getting into doership mentality. We are not leaving room for Krishna to train us.
Right. Again, two spectrums.
Yeah, we need to have one spectrum only. We need to have a combination of both.
Yeah, I mean the two extremes of one spectrum.
Yeah, two extremes, correct. So it's like Drishtva Parishramam Krishna Kripayasit Swabandhani. In Damodar Lila, this beautiful description comes, 2 fingers too short. Right? One is Kripa, one is Parishrama.
Yes.
Our endeavor, then Krishna's mercy.
Mm.
So Krishna shows mercy and we have to put endeavor. Now, I should not be dependent only on my own endeavor.
Mm.
I should not be dependent only on Krishna's mercy. Ultimately, we are dependent on Krishna's mercy. Even our endeavor is also Krishna's mercy only. It is Krishna who inspires us to endeavor. In that sense, we are dependent on Krishna moment by moment. But we have to use our God-given intelligence. We have to use our God-given power and inspiration and resources, talents, all that.
Mm.
So, without Krishna empowering me, I can't chant the holy names, isn't it? Without Krishna blessing me, I can't chant my holy names. I am chanting, of course. I am chanting using my free will. But that free will is given to me by Krishna. The ability to utter the holy name is given by Krishna. The ears are given by Krishna so that I can hear. And the association and the direction and the guidance is given by Krishna so that I can run on this direction, in this on this path. In that way, we are always dependent on Krishna, but Krishna has already equipped us with certain abilities.
Yes.
Some intelligence, some resources, some contacts, some guidance, some gurus, some Vaishnava Sangha. We should be diligent and intelligent enough to utilize all of this to grow in bhakti, to develop these qualities. Okay, so our shrama, our endeavor is mandatory, and Krishna will shower mercy. Okay, I hope this makes sense.
Yes, definitely, Prabhu, definitely. I just have one more question, Prabhu.
Yes,
So, let's take an ideal situation, we learned about this you mentioned this verse, Nada Pishani Chena. So my question is about the Amani na Mana Dena part. So sometimes it might happen that we can see the difference in value system, and we can actually sense it sometimes. So what does a person who is of the quality Amani na Mana Dena processes it? How does he processes it? I mean, does he at all feel it, the difference of value system, or he is not just feeling it and he's not seeing it at that means difference level, or he's feeling it but not reacting on it or something like?
What do you mean by difference in value system? If you just elaborate a little bit more, then I can give a more accurate answer.
Yes, Prabhu. So seeing Vaishnavas offering respect is a general etiquette, right? But maybe sometimes we don't see that.
Okay, sometimes there is intimacy. Okay, when I'm just speaking an exceptional case. Okay, sometimes say when two devotees are very close to each other, and there is a lot of intimacy between them, they may not exactly follow an official formal address or greeting or quote unquote etiquette. Not that they compromise on etiquette, because of their closeness and intimacy, they'll let, hey, is it done? They'll say like that. Generally, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam, that service is supposed to be done. Is it completed? That's a more etiquette way, respectful way of addressing. But because of intimacy or closeness, you may just passing, ho gaya kya? Done? Fine. Go ahead. Getting right? It may seem that it's not etiquette, but they have that relationship. This person is not getting offended, right? And this person is not meaning to offend also. If you just say, hey, ho gaya kya? And sometimes the tone may be a little heavy also. Are you done with this? And it may be chastising also. Right. But it depends on the relationship.
Yes.
Guru and disciple maybe, or close friends or managers or whatever. That's a different relation. It's not the missing of etiquette. It's basically a particular relationship that they share. It's not so much to do with value system also. But there are some people who are very arrogant and they compromise on etiquette. Ho gaya kya? So they are very, very strong in their demeanor, and it may be offense, right? So when you say in what mood is a person acting with another Vaishnava, what kind of relationship is the person sharing with him, all that matter. As far as respect is concerned, at heart there is respect for other person's contributions, his position as a devotee, this and that, so many things. Okay. However, when it comes to expression, it may come in various forms. One may crack a joke, not that he's disrespectful. Okay. And it's just being jovial. And the joke also should be in some kind of sattva-guna joke, not rajoguna, tamoguna joke. Sometimes the way people crack jokes also maybe little make others uncomfortable, but sometimes little humor is there. Hasyarasa is also there in Krishna. There is some humor. So, like when there is humorous dealings between devotees, that should not be taken as disrespectful dealings. For example, Advaita Acharya invites Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for prasad at his home in Chaitanya Charitamrita. I hope you know this story. Then Nityananda Prabhu says, you called me for prasad and you are not feeding me. I am fasting since 3 days. This much prasad, this much food will not fill even half my belly. Looks like I have to fast today also. Then what does Advaita Acharya say? That whatever is given to you, you eat. You can eat 100 kilos of rice. I'm a poor Brahmana. How can I feed you? Just be satisfied. Don't be greedy. And do you say like that to a host, to a guest? Any host will behave like that with a guest. Any guest will behave like that with a host. Okay, but they have such intimate relationship. It's not that they're compromising on etiquette. They have such intimate relationship, and we cannot imitate them in our regular dealings with other devotees. But sometimes when the devotees are so close, they may sometimes deal like that also. Okay, and we may not misunderstand them. Okay, we should not be taken. That should not be taken as offense or something like that. So
this was sorry, Prabhu, just a little follow up, if that is okay.
Yeah, please.
So this was for this particular case of respect, but from value system, I meant more generic. So it goes into the area of fault finding probably, because when value system difference is there, let's say somebody is more clean, someone is less clean, or somebody speaks too loud, somebody speaks too, and we are able to, discriminate that we can differentiate that in our hearts. So this tendency becomes, okay, this is appropriate, this is inappropriate. So my point is, how should one behave and how should respond to such difference of value situations where I am seeing that, okay, my value system holds this, and which might feel better, right? So how amanina manadena I can apply in this situation? Shouldn't I respond?
Okay. I think now I understood the question.
It was a little generic, bro.
Yes, got it. Like my short answer to this question is, I'll give a long answer also, but short answer to this question is, a part of Vaishnava etiquette is also to understand the mood, or as I said, value system of another Vaishnava, and molding oneself according to their expectations while dealing with them. Okay, this is how this devotee expects me to deal with. Oftentimes what happens is we expect others to deal with us in a way that we like.
Right.
But if we can, as a Vaishnava, a practicing devotee, if we can mold our expectations and try to mold ourselves according to others' expectations, we can have very good relationships. I'll give you one example. This is a short answer, but to elaborate a little more. Say one devotee, he's very jovial. Okay, he's very jolly. Okay, and he may come and then in a jovial tone he may speak something. Even if you are doing something else, you're a little serious, but he's very, very jolly. He'll just come, and just the presence of that devotee will make the whole mood light. He has a very light demeanor, very jovial demeanor. Yesterday, Bhakti Bhagat Maharaj was giving a brahmachari class in our ashram. So he was speaking about one devotee in Vrindavan. I think Sarvam Prabhu he was speaking about. So some discussion was going on, and Sarvam Prabhu wanted a break. So I have some rounds left. I will go chant and come back in so and so time, 45 minutes, I'll come back. So he just went out. After some time, he came back to the class, and there was some kind of serious discussion is going on. And as soon as he came, he said, now I completed my 16 rounds. And he just sat there. Everyone laughed, right? So there is a demeanor that some devotee maintains. They are very jolly. Some are little grave, little composed, little reserved. Okay, they don't want to be pulled into some kind of discussions. Some are very soft. Some are very rough. No, not rough, not rude, but little spicy. Some are not spicy, right? Some are too sattvic. Okay. So, like according to them, like the way we deal with them, so you just speak. Like for example, according to Ayurveda, there are these three prakritis, right? Kapha prakriti, Vata prakriti, Pitta prakriti. Someone who is into Vata prakriti, Vayu prakriti, very fast. He wants to do everything fast. That is his nature, innate nature, very fast. Then someone who is into Pitta, he becomes a little angry sometimes. He becomes a little irritable. I'm not an Ayurvedic doctor, but I have heard that these are the qualities generally. And someone who is into Kapha is very slow. He'll just sit there, he'll not move so much. Vayu and Kapha are like totally opposite, something like that. So, like similarly, devotees also, whether it is bodily constitution or in their svabhava, sometimes they are fast, sometimes they are slow, sometimes they are like very sober, sometimes they are very jolly, sometimes they are very reserved, sometimes they are outspoken, some are introverts, some are extroverts. When we are dealing with them, understand their mood and behave with them accordingly. As much as practical for us. Okay. So that solves a lot of problems. It's not about difference in value system. It can be, but it's more than difference in value systems. We need to see different varieties of Vaishnavas, different flavors in which Vaishnavas may behave on a positive note. Sadhaka Bhaktas have a lot of anarthas also. Sometimes their difference in value systems and their behavioral patterns are products of their anarthas also. Products of their envy, pride, greed also. I'm speaking more on a positive note. Okay. So we will discuss all that in later sessions, but this also is another thing. Sometimes people may be very genuine, despite all their shortcomings or whatever pitfalls. They may be genuine in their overall demeanor, but they have certain kind of traits, mannerisms, personality traits. So if we just try to align with them, acknowledging their personality traits, that may be a very pleasant interaction. Okay. Molding expectations. Does it make sense, Madhavi? Does it answer the question?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very, very much.
One last question? Yes, Paramatma Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I was just thinking, just a follow-up what you have been just telling. It is very, very tough, in a sense that there are so many people with different mentalities. And what if I may not even understand a person at all, but how can I mold my way of behavior with such people? Some people are too complex. Some people are, I will try this way, that way. In any other ways, I'll end up having a problem with that person. Oh my God, did he do a mistake or did he do a mistake? I don't know. As a Vaishnava Achar, I can't go and say, hey, you did a mistake, but I can't even accept that I did a mistake. Now, it's a kind of a situation, you see.
Yes. So, got it, Prabhu. Who can understand the mood of a devotee completely? Only Paramatma, not Paramatma Prabhu,
Yes,
but Paramatma. Only Paramatma can understand a person completely. Okay. All others will understand 5%, 10%, maximum 20% of a person's mood, a devotee's mood, and mood swings. Okay. Okay. So depending on whatever we understand, we try to deal with them. That's all. Okay. But as far as understanding the mood of another person completely, only Paramatma can do a complete job of it. Paramatma understands a person more than the person understands himself. Okay. But it is others can understand only to some degree, and whatever you understood, it's a fairly good understanding that we can get just to deal with that person. Okay. But sometimes, as you said, a person may be much deep, much complicated. Okay. So some are like very, what is it called? Sensitive areas. We should not get into that. So, and the more we deal with the people, the more we get to understand. But ultimately, what we need to understand is, I cannot understand this person completely. Whatever I understood about this person, let me try to mold myself in my dealings with them accordingly, and let me cultivate the right kind of Vaishnava mode. I cannot expect gratitude from him, let me be grateful. I cannot expect humility from that person, let me be humble. I cannot expect him to be tolerant, let me be tolerant. So all these Vaishnava qualities and the traits of Vaishnava character are meant for us to cultivate and demonstrate, and not so much to expect from others. Okay. So if we have expectations, that may lead to frustrations. But if we don't expect, still the person is having a good demeanor, that will help us. Then that will help us to be grateful. Whether to be grateful or frustrated, we can make a choice. Okay. We cannot always have a very perfect exemplary dealing with every single sadhaka, because they are sadhakas. So as much as possible, as much as practical, we'll understand and we'll try to deal accordingly. I hope that makes sense.
Yes, Prabhu, perfectly. Thank you so much, Prabhu. And one other question here I am seeing in the chat window, Prabhu. Is it something you want me to read, Prabhu, for you?
Yeah, you can read, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. So one of the devotee here is asking, so Prabhu, just extending the analogy you provided of the sapling earlier, is the mercy, oops, sorry, Prabhu, one second. Is the mercy of the Lord equatable to sunlight, which is also essential for the sapling to grow along with the seed, Bhakti Lata Bija, water in the bracket sadhana, the land in the bracket it is sadhu lakshana? Or does the mercy of the Lord really flow through the mercy of the Guru or Vaishnavas, which is really the potency of the seed?
Okay. In the analogy that I have heard somewhere in the seventh canto, beginning passages of Chakravarti's commentary, I mentioned. But definitely, if you want to add more elements to an analogy, yes, sunlight can be Lord's mercy. Yeah, it's great. Basically, all these analogies and examples are there to understand the concept better. So whatever helps you, you can please accept that. But definitely, Lord's mercy is there in the whole thing. Our sadhana may be good. And as you said, there's an overlap between the Lord's mercy and Guru's mercy. That is also there. But if you want to add sunlight aspect to this analogy and make it Lord's mercy, that's perfectly all right, in line with Siddhanta. Basically, whatever analysis we are discussing should be in line with the Siddhanta. And of course, every analogy has its limitation also to completely explain a philosophical concept, but we just take one aspect of it. It's perfectly all right. Anything else? We have 7 minutes. Okay, first class, we can have a shorter one. We can conclude now. And next week, we will discuss about gratitude. I'll begin with gratitude. Today, I thought of doing with gratitude, but somehow I went into a longer introduction and then Q&A and longer discussion. I hope I didn't waste your time. So next time, we'll start. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Pranam.